Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this crochet earth for Earth Day, and it is very small, so it would also be great for a keychain. So if you guys do want to see more craft, crochet, or business videos like this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And if you do enjoy this video at any point, please do give it a thumbs up because it really helps out my channel. There will also be a free crochet pattern for this on my blog if you guys are interested in using that instead of the video tutorial. This will be coming out tomorrow. As you guys are seeing, this is Friday, and the free crochet pattern comes out on Saturday. So if you are interested, it will be linked in the description box once it comes out. And with that, let me show you guys the materials you will need to make this crochet earth. So of course you need yarn. These are both Red Heart Super Savers. This one is in the color blue and this one is in the color forest. It's either forest or forest green. Either way, I'll have it linked in the description box. But you can use pretty much any color blue and green that you would like. I just went for the ones that I thought looked most like earth. And of course you will also need crochet hooks. So I have one that is a 4.25 millimeter and one that is a 3.125 millimeter. And I just have one that's larger, one that's smaller, this one to make the little green land parts, and this one to make the actual globe water part, however you want to say it. I did just find that it was better to use a smaller hook for the land parts, but if you only have one size hook, then of course you can use just the one. So for pretty much every project you need scissors and a yarn needle, so of course I have these. I also have my stitch counter to count the rounds as I am crocheting. You will also want a stitch marker for this project just to keep track of when you are starting or ending a round. And if you don't have a stitch marker, you could just use a piece of yarn as a stitch marker. And the final thing is stuffing, which this is a huge thing of stuffing. You obviously do not need this much. I just have this because I do a lot of projects with stuffing. So I have the big thing, but you can get any size. You only need like a handful of it for this project. As always, the materials that I used will be included in the description box for you guys. That way you can find them to recreate this project. So with that, let's get on to the tutorial. So to start out, I just have the blue yarn here with the larger of the two crochet hooks and the stitch counter as well. So to begin, I'm doing a magic circle, and I'm going to be single crocheting 6 into this magic circle. And then once you've done that, you will just pull on this end to make it tighter and then slip stitch into this first single crochet. Okay, now that I've done this, I'm going to put the stitch marker right where I just made the slip stitch, and I am going to increase in every single one of these stitches around. So to do that, I am just doing 2 single crochets in each, and this should give you 12 stitches by the end of this round. Okay, so then I just take out this stitch marker and do the last 2 single crochets in the stitch here for this round. Okay, so then the stitch marker goes back in to this last stitch, and this next round is going to be single crocheting 2 in 1 and then 1 single crochet, and repeat that all the way around. So again, you're going to increase in 1, which is to just do the 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and repeat that all the way around. Okay, so now I am again removing the stitch marker and doing 1 single crochet in here, and then placing the stitch marker back. Okay, so this next round is going to be to single crochet 2 into 1 stitch, and then single crochet 2. So again, increase in one and single crochet in the next two all the way around. Okay, so I'm now at the end again, and I just removed the stitch marker and I'm doing the last single crochet, then putting this back in. And that is number 4 completed. The next row is going to be the same idea, to single crochet 2 in one stitch and then single crochet 3. We're just getting wider as it goes along. So again, you're going to increase and then single crochet 3 and repeat this all the way around. Okay, so again, I just removed the stitch marker and like normal doing a single crochet and then putting it back in. The next 3 rounds are going to be just single crocheting in each stitch. So again, all the way around, just single crocheting, no increasing anymore. This is going to be round 6, 7, and 8. So in order to not bore you guys, I will just see you when round 8 is done. Okay, so I just completed round number 8, and round number 9 is where we're going to start the decreases. So you're going to decrease for the first stitch, which is just going to be single crocheting 2 together, and then you're going to single crochet 3 just like normal, and then decrease again and single crochet 3. And I'm just repeating this all the way around. Okay, so just like normal, took the stitch marker out, doing the last single crochet, putting it back in, and clicking the stitch counter. So now we're on round number 10, which, just to make this more convenient, I'm going to poke this little tail inside here. That way it's not in my way as I'm crocheting. And this next round is going to be a decrease. So again, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet 2. And then another decrease, and another single crochet 2. And I am again doing that all the way around. Okay, and same for every row, taking that out, doing the last stitch and putting it back in, and then clicking this. So now that is 10 done, and just for now I am going to take this hook out and pull up the loop, and I'm going to start stuffing this just so that way as it's closing up more I don't have to struggle to stuff it, because right now it's kind of easy to stuff, but later on it will be pretty difficult. And I do like to do this to where it's kind of firm instead of squishy, because that way it'll be more circular later on. And of course I'm going to add more stuffing as I go. This is just for right now, because I also don't want it to be like in the way of my stitches too much, so I am just going to push it down and add more in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm putting my hook back on and tightening up the loop. I'm going to start round 11 by doing a decrease and then single crocheting 1, and again decrease and single crochet 1, and I am doing that all the way around until I get back to this stitch marker. Okay, so to complete this round, I am just single crocheting the last, and again I'm going to put the stitch marker back in, if I can put it in correctly. There we go. And then do this. So now we are going to be on to round 12, which if yours needs a little bit more stuffing at this point you can, but I'm gonna wait a little bit just to do it. So this round is going to be decreasing all the way around. So no regular single crochets, you're just gonna keep decreasing until you get back to this stitch marker. Okay, so there's 2 stitches that I haven't decreased in yet, and I just took out the stitch marker because it's difficult to do a stitch with the stitch marker in. So I'm decreasing on this last one, and I'm now going to pull this up again and stuff quite a bit more in here, which if you have one of these things for stuffing, that would be a good time to use it. If you don't, you can just use your crochet hook or yarn needle to kind of poke the stuffing in there better. And when you're stuffing this, you do want to make sure that you stuff it enough to where it looks like a circle, which mine does, and I don't think much more stuffing is going to fit in there. So the next step is to actually cut this, leaving kind of a long tail. It doesn't have to be super long though, just enough to finish it off. So now I am just putting my hook back in this loop here and tightening it. And then you can finish off, which there is still a hole here. We're going to use a yarn needle to close that, but I do just finish off first. And then I'm going to thread my yarn needle through this tail here, and I just insert the yarn needle through one stitch and then out through the other, in through one stitch, out through the one next to it, and I do that for all of these stitches that are left. And then you can easily just pull on it and it closes up, and you have pretty much a perfect circle. If it's not perfect, you can kind of roll it in between your hands like this to make it more rounded. But to finish this off, I am just going to weave in this end, and then I just cut it, and that's it for the circle part. So now we just have to make the green land spots and our little globe will be done. Okay, so what you're gonna want right now is the smaller crochet hook, the little globe we just made, a yarn needle, and the green yarn. Okay, so to make the little land pieces, we're again going to start with a magic circle. But this time I only do 3 single crochets into the magic circle, which this yarn is a little bit thick to use a crochet hook like this, but that's okay. The main reason you want a smaller crochet hook is because these land pieces are going to be smaller and you don't want there to be like gaps in between if you can help it, but if there is, it isn't really a big deal. You could just say it's like a lake or something. Okay, so now I just tighten this just like we started out the globe with, and then slip stitch into this first single crochet. So now you have a little tiny spot. You could stop here if you want some pieces of land to be this small. And the main thing you want to do is just kind of hold it up to the globe and figure out what size you want the land pieces to be. So this could be a good size for one, and then one that's a little bigger, and different things like that. But I am going to show you how to make a little bit of a bigger one, and I try to do this to where it isn't a perfect circle. So To do that, I kind of just do random stitches. So you might start by doing a chain and then going back this way and doing a double crochet, and then coming to this next stitch and doing a half double crochet. I'm basically just doing random stitches to make this a random shape, because if you've ever seen a globe, it's kind of just random shapes. I'm not trying to make it perfectly look like the globe or anything, because that would be very difficult with how tiny these pieces are and everything. So I'm definitely not worried about making this look completely perfect or anything like that. So this, I think, is a good size. Just for reference, put it on here and see what it looks like. So I am now going to cut this, leaving a tail for attaching it, of course, and just finish off. And with this smaller tail here from where we started, you can kind of weave in this end a little bit and then trim it. That way it's not in the way. And you do want this to be as flat as possible. So if you're having a problem with it kind of coming up like it is right here, you can use this end to kind of sew it together to where it will stay a little bit flatter. Okay, so now that I've done that a couple of times, I'm going to, again, trim this. So now I'm gonna put this tail that I left on my needle here, and I am going to just place it in kind of a random spot where I think it will look good. So I'm just gonna put this one right here. So to start, I will just poke this through one time and then just start sewing it on. It's pretty much as simple as that. And you may have to go over it a couple times to make it kind of flat and cohesive with this. That is basically it. Just sew it on, and I will come back to you when this is sewed on. And if you're okay with some of the pieces kind of sticking up, you don't really have to go around it multiple times, but I'm just doing that because I'd rather it be a little bit flatter. But just like everything, it's all personal preference how you would like it to look. Okay, now that this is all attached, I'm just going to weave in this end and then just trim this end. And now we have our first little piece of land on here. I'm going to make at least 2 or 3 more little pieces, and then I will come back and show you the final product. Okay, so here is the final globe, which some of these pieces are kind of sticking out, but the best way I figured out to kind of fix that is to kind of just poke them down, which sounds a little weird, but it works pretty well. So this is the final product, and if you do want to add a keychain to this, you would just use some pliers and chain and attach it right here or wherever you want to, but I would attach it at the top, and then put the keychain onto the chain, and that is it. But right now I can't actually find my stuff to do that, so I'm just going to be leaving it as is. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this earth, or I hope you enjoyed making it yourself if you did follow along. If you did enjoy, please do give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to see more craft, crochet, or business videos like this one, make sure you hit the subscribe button below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And if you guys would like to see more from me, my social medias, my Etsy shop, more videos of mine, and my blog are always included in the description box below, as well as if you're looking for the materials that I used or the free crochet pattern, which will be coming out tomorrow, you can check out the description box as well. And with all of that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!